What's going on, sports card hobby family? Woo! Another day, another sports card video. Friends, it is that time of the month. No, not that time of the month. It is grading results time from our friends at GemRate. Who is pumped to see what's going on in the grading world? I know that I am. Before I get started, huge shout out to today's video sponsor, COMC.com. Are you on the hunt for that next NBA superstar or looking to find some Hall of Fame hockey autographs? So look no further than COMC. Their growing 35 million card inventory is a treasure trove for collectors with a wide range of options to suit every taste and preference. The user-friendly COMC interface allows you to filter and search for cards with ease, ensuring you find exactly what cards you are looking to add to your collection. Also, shout out to all the folks that have reached out to me about our new service. I'm excited about this. If you have an eBay store, if you have cards that are coming up for auction on any of the big auction sites and you want to promote them, you want to see them in a Sports Card Dad YouTube video, friends, reach out to me for a small fee. We can make that happen for you. In a very competitive collectible space where it is a buyer's market, you want your items to stand out. So if you want some extra promotion on the Sports Card Dad YouTube channel, reach out to me. My email is in the video description, or just connect with me on Instagram at SportsCardDad. All right, let's dive into this thing. We have got the GemRate data. It's releasing, I think, right about the same time that this video is going to come out. All right, let's look at the overall numbers first. We've got PSA at 1.22 million cards in the
Empire is on the verge of success.
The month of January. That is a minus 1% from the previous month, but it is a plus 22% year over year. CGC had 184,000 cards in total, up 53% from last month, and that's plus 40% year over year. Our guys over at SGC, a total number of 157,000 cards. That's plus 28% from last month, and it's a plus 94% year over year, almost double the amount of cards that they did in January of 2023. Unbelievable. Beckett grading at 58,000 cards, and that's a plus 11% from last month. It's plus 1% year over year. Now, if we kind of break that down, this is a sports card channel mainly. Sure, we've got Pokemon folks that watch, and there's some non-sports and entertainment cards and that sort of thing. But the main focus is sports cards. So when you break down those numbers, it's 660,000 for PSA. It's 20,000 for CGC, which shows, and again, it's very consistent with the previous months where CGC mainly a TCG card grader. They're grading a lot of cards, but about 90% or so, a good chunk are on the TCG side of the equation. SGC had 141,000 sports cards, and Beckett had 29,000 sports cards. So again, we're looking at this, and there's two companies when it comes to sports cards. Like I said, for most of the people that watch this channel, they're interested in sports cards. Two companies have pulled away from the other two. It's SGC and it's PSA, and then there's the other two. The CGC and Beckett are trying to gain ground on the sports card side. If we go to the TCG side, PSA still very dominant on that side. It's almost 50-50, their business between sports cards and TCG. This month is probably more like 55-45. They had 565,000 TCG cards. CGC had a whopping 164,000 TCGs. SGC had 16,000 TCG cards, and Beckett had 28,000 on the TCG side of the equation. And that's something I remember talking about a year ago, man. It seems like just with the amount of cards that are being printed on the Pokemon side and on the Magic the Gathering, we did hear that MetaZoo is going away, but just on some of these trading card games, man, there is so many cards being printed and the demand is high. There is a lot of collectors, a lot of speculators on that side of the equation, and grading has not slowed down one bit.
Here we go. Bye-bye.
See, Peter, he's too fast.
You gotta tackle me. It's B. You gotta press B.
I'm pressing B. He's too fast.
Going over here. Going over here now. Never get tired.
Change your guy, Quagmire. Change your guy.
I know a lot of people in my comment section, and frankly myself too, kind of look at this and it's like, man, can they keep this pace going? Will there be the demand for this type of grading, these grading numbers? There's never been this much grading ever happening in the trading card space. It doesn't matter if we go back 5 years, 10 years, 20 years, we go back to 30 years, grading was just getting started. That was really the last big boom for trading cards, but this has been the most trading cards that have ever been graded in the history of the hobby right now. And based on these numbers, it hasn't slowed down at all. If we look, it's actually up quite a bit. It's not up a little bit, it's up a lot. When you look at the big four and you look at the year over year numbers, I mean, PSA is up 22%. That is a hell of a lot of cards. I know 22%, people are like, oh, wow, yeah, whatever, it's just percentages. 22% is a lot of cards year over year. CGC, 40% more than last year. SGC, 94% up from last year. And Beckett, even though Beckett's faced their challenges, they have lost market share, they're up 1%. So even if they're just breaking even, treading water, they're not going down. They're still grading about as many cards, and I think that says something. And that's not even including all the other grading companies that are out in the space. So just when you thought maybe grading might slow down a little bit as we move into 2024, it's just kind of like with shows too. Shows have started off with a bang as well. I was at Culture Collision in Atlanta going back last weekend, and it was a busy show. And granted, we're done with the holidays. I think people are excited to get back out and get into the show swing of things. We'll have to see how Philly Card Show and Chantilly and Dallas and the National, shape up this year. Fanatics is supposed to enter the event space this year. And, will there be some changes in the grading companies? Will there be some added technology? Will there be some, different formatting, just some different innovations, different procedures of policies for grading companies in 2024? But the worst kept secret is just that grading is very popular. Consumers, people, collectors, hobbyists, they want graded cards. I think, I've heard a lot of people say, hey, look, to sell my cards, I need to grade them. It's a lot easier to sell graded cards than it is ungraded cards, which makes sense. And now we've reached a point where the cost of grading is affordable.
You take the card and put it in the sleeve. You take the card and put it in the sleeve. You take the card and put it in the sleeve. You take the card and put it in the sleeve.
I know it's not $8 bulk grading for PSA like it was going back, a couple years. I know SGC was also like $10 grading going back a few years. Maybe we don't have it at that low of a price, but $15 to $20 for a card. And again, maybe you have to be a little bit more strategic. Maybe you're not sending in base Prism rookie cards, but you have options. I think people have smartened up as to what they're sending in. It just feels like there's a lot of opportunity, whether you're a collector or if you're a short-term flipper. It just seems like there is a lot of opportunity out there. So wanted to spread the news as soon as I got it to you all. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. How much are you planning to grade in 2024? Which companies are you using? What's your strategy? Throw it down in the comments section below. Stay healthy, stay awesome, and I will talk to you again later.